In this video, we're going to talk about what niche markets are and why it's important to pick the right one for your business. Hi, welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Pascal. And if this is your first time here and you like topics about building online businesses and affiliate marketing, then go ahead below the video and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on when I release new content. So there is one important question that you need to ask yourself when you're going to create your online business, right? And the question is, which audience am I going to serve? Because ultimately, this is what we're doing. I mean, we're identifying a pocket of people that have a pain, and we're providing solutions for these pains, okay? Now, the typical answer to that question is, whoever were in your previous position before you became an expert, right? Now, by expert, I don't mean someone who has like a fancy degree, like a PhD or whatever. I mean, we could literally be reading the same book, and because you're 2 chapters ahead of me, I could consider you as an expert. So this is a very relative term, okay? But in the online business industry, most experts are going to operate in one of these 3 main categories. Okay, so the first category is going to be wealth. The second category is going to be health. And the third category is going to be relationships. Right, now you're going to ask yourself, okay, so where's my expertise where does my expertise fall in any of these 3 broad markets? Now, after you've identified your main market, then that's not enough. You're going to go at least 2 levels deeper, and here's what I mean. For example, in the health industry, you could have weight loss. You could have, for example, fitness. Okay. You could have nutrition. In the wealth industry, we could have, for example, finance. We could have, another example is online business. In relationships, we could have, for example, dating advice. We could also have marriage advice. All right, so these subcategories are called submarkets, okay? Now, again, you need to identify which submarket your expertise is in. And when you do that, let's say, for example, your expertise is in nutrition. Now, you still need to go a level deeper. And this is where your niche is going to be. Like, for example, in nutrition, we could have, for example, paleo diet. Or you could have like high fat diet, for example. Okay. So if for example, I'm looking into getting nutrition advice, I mean, am I going to consult someone like a generalist nutrition specialist, or am I going to pick something more specific like paleo if I'm interested in this type of diet? All right. So this is why you need to be very specific, because in this day and age, you need to be very specific to grab people's attention. Okay, because the market is very noisy. It's very important to pick to craft your message to talk specifically to someone. Now, one of the concepts I want to talk about is the concept of blue oceans and red oceans. And these concepts were discussed in a book called the Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, so what it is in the very beginning, when people were operating in these broad markets, okay, and you didn't have a lot of competition. So these were blue oceans, right? And everything was smooth until other people started to realize how easy it was to operate in these markets. And then they started competing with each other. And then slowly the ocean started being infested with sharks, and they became red oceans. So the smart people realized that instead of competing for this group of customers in that red ocean, so they have to carve out a subset of that broad category. And this is how we came with the sub-markets, like the weight loss market and fitness market and nutrition markets. And then people started operating in these markets. Again, they were blue oceans until they started being infested again. And then they carved out subsets, which are called niches or niche. I mean, depending on where you're from, right? So this is the key concept that you need to understand, because when you're going to decide on which audience you want to serve, I mean, one common mistake is to go ahead and pick one niche and then just build your company in that. But sometimes that particular niche could be already a red ocean. So you need to be able to go back up in the sub-market, right? And then carve out your own blue ocean. So this is how the game is played. Like, let me give you some example. So the concept is like this. So you have your core market, and then you have your sub-market, and then you have your niche, right? For example, if you could be in the wealth, and then the sub-market is like online business, online biz. And then you could, for example, specialize in Facebook traffic for e-commerce store owners, right? E-com sellers. Now this is a Facebook traffic. This is very specific, okay? If for example, I'm an e-commerce store owner and I'm looking for like a course on Facebook traffic, I mean, who do you think I would? Okay, so let's say you have I have two ads in front of me. One is talking about like a generic Facebook traffic course, and another one is talking about a Facebook traffic course specifically for e-commerce sellers. Then obviously I'm going to pick the one for that specific, right? So this is how after you evaluate a specific niche to determine whether it's infested or not, then you can create your own blue ocean. Another example in this category in the online business could be, for example, Instagram traffic for influencers, IG traffic for influencers. So this is how you go back up to your sub-market and then you carve your own niche, right? So this is how the game is played, guys. Now, there are three important questions that you need to ask yourself when picking your audience also. The first question is going to be, since you're going to offer you're going to create own blue ocean, you need to find out if the idea you're going to present is interesting for the people. For example, let's say you're in the wealth market and in real estate. If you're offering, for example, how to flip houses on eBay, I mean, are you going to have people who are willing to take action on such a topic? So this is something important to find out. The second question is there a passion? I mean, are people passionate about, I mean, are they irrationally passionate about this? And the first thing you need to figure out is, are you yourself passionate about it? Okay, because if you're not passionate about it, then there's no need to pursue that. One of the ways you can find out is, for example, when you're interacting with your friends, I mean, do you sometimes bring up the topic even though you know that no one else is interested in that? And if that happens, then this definitely means that you are passionate. Also, you need to find out if there are like communities. Okay, so communities can be, for example, in the online world, you could have like forums, you can have Facebook groups dedicated for this particular topic. You need to see if there is a specific jargon, like vocabulary for that niche. For example, in the online industry, we're talking about, you have specific jargon for marketing, like sales funnels, like autoresponder. Like, these are specific vocabulary that shows you that there's a passion there. And you need to see also if there are events being happening on that, for that particular topic. Because if you don't have events, then it's going to be difficult for you to for example, have people come to a webinar that you want to create, right? So it's important that you have the events happening in your new niche. The other thing is, there need to be other experts there, because you're not going to create a demand there. I mean, if there are already experts there, then most likely people, the experts have their own audiences, and then if it's not too infested, then yes, you can definitely go in there. And then the third question you have to ask is, are people willing and able to buy products in this market? Because you need to have both, right? I mean, if sometimes you might have people who are willing and not able, and vice versa. I mean, in the book that I read, there was one good example where someone built a company in the gaming niche, right? But the problem was, there was a good demand there, but since the gaming niche is mostly like young kids, they are willing, right? But they're not able, because most of these young kids, they don't have credit cards to make purchases, right? So you need to evaluate there also to see if they are willing and able, right? So this is what niches are, guys, and you need to properly pick yours. Like, as an affiliate marketer, if you're going to if you're using the same strategy I'm using, where we're talking about a value-based strategy where you're going to create content to educate your audience, then you need to have a passion for it, because if you don't, then it's going to be difficult for you to keep creating content over and over again. For example, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm creating a YouTube video to educate you guys on what a niche market is, so you can understand what it is. Right. So in order for you to keep creating content like these, then you need to have a passion there. And by the way, guys, if you want to know more about this value-based strategy, so this is exactly what this training and PascalLafondTraining.com, the link is going to be below this video. This is what my mentor is teaching in this training. So go ahead and check it out. It's a free training. You can check it out if you want. Okay guys, so I hope you got some value in this video. If you did, then go ahead and smash that like button. And don't forget, don't stop taking action, guys, and just try to be a little bit better every single day. That being said, I will see you in the next video.